So the last time we talked about this, but for people who are going to be here today, give me a brief overview of what you're going to be talking about.
So today I'm going to be talking about the need for a Texas State Veterans Cemetery here in East Texas. When we look across the populations of veterans statewide, and we apply what's called a service area. So the policy is if you live within 75 miles of a Texas State Veterans Cemetery or a national cemetery, you're considered served. Those outside of that 75-mile range are considered unserved. There's a very large unserved veteran population here in East Texas. It's actually the largest population in any other location in the state. And so we think it's time to work on putting a cemetery here in East Texas.
Mm-hmm. Where are we at in that process? Last time we talked about a potential location. You're kind of out gathering support. Tell me where we're at.
Well, we're kind of still at that point. We do have a landowner who is working on clearance of title and those kinds of things to donate acreage to us at the state level. One of the difficulties we have is that in Texas state law, we cannot buy land. It has to be donated to us. And typically it is a municipality, a city or a county that donate that land. And what's unusual here is it's actually a private landowner who wants to give us about 64 acres of land to get a Texas State Veterans Cemetery started. And I like to tell people, her heart is as big as Texas. I mean, who does that? Who gives away 64 acres of land to the state to build a state veteran cemetery? But that's exactly what she's doing and working on right now.
Mm-hmm. Last time, there is a state cemetery in Louisiana, but last time you said, tell me what you said.
Yeah, so there's a state veteran cemetery in Louisiana. It's called the Northwest Louisiana State Veteran Cemetery. And it's just over the border, and so I talked about a 75-mile service area. Well, that 75-mile circle actually bleeds over into Texas. And so even though a number of the counties on the east boundary of Texas are in Texas, they're actually considered served by the cemetery in Louisiana. And as I like to say, you show me a Texan that wants to be buried in Louisiana, and I'll show you somebody that's not really a Texan. So that's why we need to get one up here to serve all those veterans.
Mm-hmm. What is the feedback you've seen so far? We had a meeting in Tyler. A lot of people are here. We're here 15 minutes early, and there's a lot of people here.
Yeah, absolutely. It's now gaining the attention up the elected officials chain as well. Today, we're supposed to have a couple county judges, a mayor. Senator Cornyn's representative from Tyler is going to be here. And so I think the voices are now starting to be heard. In fact, in there, they've got petitions for people to sign up on, with the goal of presenting 3,000 signatures on petitions to the General Land Office Land Commissioner, Dr. Buckingham, in December. And so it's picking up speed tremendously. As some of us in the military like to say, it's growing legs and walking on its own now.
Mm-hmm. So what do you need at the county level? What do you need those judges to do?
Basically keep going up their elected officials chain. I have to have a green light from Commissioner Buckingham to apply resources. And where we're at, once we've worked our way through the land issues, that'll be the next thing, is start to apply money to do an engineering design study and all that, leading to an application with the National Cemetery Administration. So it's moving. The local elected officials are starting to communicate up the chain of elected officials, and that's exactly what we need. Mm-hmm. And then you can see in the audience today lots of motivated local veterans who are interested in this, and they want this, and they're right behind it all the way.
Is there anything else you feel the community needs to know who may not be able to make it here today?
I just know that we're working hard to get the land situated, and then after that, we'll be applying a pretty aggressive timeline to continue to move forward. And then it'll come to a little bit of a halt waiting funding at the federal government level. And you got to remember, they're under a continuing resolution right now, so they don't even have their regular budget. Mm-hmm. But as those things work their way out and resolve themselves, we'll continue to aggressively push for a cemetery here in East Texas.
Mm-hmm. Is there any kind of timeline that you can share, or with in terms of?
I can tell you what we're aiming to do is to submit a grant application by the 1st of July, 2025. So we got about 8 months, and we want to submit an application by then. To do that, we've got to have a engineering design, short design done, so we can cost out what it's really going to be, as well as development of a scope statement, what all we'll be building. We'll get all that submitted to the National Cemetery Administration by the 1st of July.